to suffer through it.
Practice.
Yeah. Oh, Donna, sorry.
No, I was just saying that Serenity, I added you to all the practice rooms with the
Okay, thank you.
Individual events.
Yeah. So this is
Gotcha.
Serenity, you've been through this. I appreciate you being here, but
I know mod, so you probably need a mod, don't you?
I will be good. I will be good. You don't have to stay if you don't need to. You've been just killing yourself the last couple days.
Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened about 20 minutes ago?
What?
My new headphones came via Amazon at the door.
Oh.
Nice. Do I sound good now?
You do sound much better.
There you go.
Hi. You're wonderful. Hi, Jaden. Hi. So that is awesome, Serenity. Serenity, that's fantastic. So which ones did you get?
I have got, I went for ones that had a lot of stars on them, and there wasn't any Logitech ones. You know, the ones where lots of people have bought them, that kind of thing.
That kind of stars. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like had stars and shiny flowers.
No. Actually, it's got a Chinese dragon on it, though.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
All right. Onikuma.
Yeah. Those are great.
Okay.
I love it.
K3.
Hey, Matt. Hi. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I had headphones. Yeah, we're going to be talking. I've added a little bit on headphones. Like I didn't need to add anything to this presentation, but choosing the right headphone makes all the difference in the world. And so, good on you. That's fabulous. Yay! Yay! I love it. So, hello everybody. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you all are here. We're going to be talking about presenting here in AltspaceVR about the presentation style. Only a little bit about creating an event, but it's about how to dazzle your audience and whatnot. And just let's see what else. I am trying not to be a little distracted because I cut my heel on the pull tab of cat food.
Bro.
This morning. Oh my God.
That's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate. Yeah, no, I pulled it. I had to step over the cat on my way from the utility room, heading to the kitchen to throw away the can and recycle and all that business. And the little lid is one of those little tiny pate cans, and it flipped off. And
good job, dude.
It flipped over, and I went, oh! And then right then my foot it just landed the way my heel went on it, and it just cut the bottom of my heel. So I spent like 20 minutes. Luckily, my husband was still home, and 20 minutes laying with my face on the bed with my heel in the air with super glue. He's sticking it back together. Hey, it works. Super glue is magic when it comes to owies. It's the woodworker's favorite bandage. So.
Oh dear.
So anyway. Made a mess. But anyway, so I'm on Discord responding to all my messages with my face like down in the pillow.
I saw. I've been following you today on purpose.
All right. So welcome everybody. Let's get rocking here. My name is Laurel or Rel. I go either one. And this is Speaker 101. We're going to be talking about how to present in AltspaceVR as well as in VR in general. And we're specifically talking about how to grab the audience's attention and how to, make this be a wonderful experience as you are up on the stage with all these things. And we're going to also, just to let you know, that I am the co-founder of Educators in VR, which started right here in AltSpace. And somebody has music or something going on in their audio. If you could mute yourself, that would be fantastic. Thank you. All right. And we'll be talking about all those distracting things that do happen at an event in just a moment. So Educators in VR hosts a weekly, every Tuesday, workshop that talks about how to integrate VR, AR, XR into education, into the classroom. And we have some fantastic things. And if you do choose to talk to somebody in the real world, please mute yourself first. That helps too. So welcome to the distractions. So I've been in AltSpace for almost 5 years and have been presenting for quite a while. And coming up, starting in a few hours, the calendar is going to be Oh, Watermelon. Watch this. Did you just say, want to see me get kicked out of this event? Did you? Oh, everyone, please applause for Watermelon. Watermelon
Clap,
gets
clap,
applause.
clap, clap.
Yay! Applause for Watermelon. So this is
Clap.
how someone who's
Congratulations.
not paying attention gets public the attention that they need. So would you like to be kicked out of the event, Watermelon? Okay, he chose to leave. I love it. Now, that wasn't to harass or humiliate. It was as an example that I'm going to use throughout this. If anyone decides to troll or be obnoxious or whatnot, I will single you out because clearly you want attention, right? Don't you? When you do those things, when you hover up in the air with a quest instead of keeping your feet on the floor, if you make loud noises or cuss or swear or be really obnoxious, I'm the only one who can do that. Up here, I get as the event host, I can be as obnoxious as I want. But when you're disruptive to an event, it clearly means you want attention. And therefore, it is really important that we pay attention to you and remove you from the event. So just know the audience is on my side against you. No. All right, no, it's this how to present, and dealing with the people who are disruptive is part of that. So we're going to be talking about that later on. But do know that if you do choose to be disruptive, I will use you as a teaching tool because we're all here to learn. I love it. All right, so back to what's going on so I can stay on track. I have a lot of little points to cover here. Starting in a few hours, the schedule here in AltSpace is about to be completely and totally crowded with the events for the International Summit for Educators in VR. We have, are you ready for this? I feel like we need the drum roll. See, Jay, you need to have your sound effects on with the drum roll. All right, we have 170 speakers speaking at over 150 events on 5 different virtual platforms across 6 days.
Oh my.
We are already breaking records, and we have people speaking on every kind of topic you can imagine about education and research and development in the educational industry when it comes to immersive technologies and spatial technologies. Are there any speakers here? Give me some hearts if you're a speaker at the conference. Give me some hearts. Yay! Oh, wonderful. Okay, so keep putting up those hearts. If I haven't friended you yet, make sure that I do. And that is awesome, fantastic. So, Watermelon, you're back. Have you decided to play nice? Find a seat, plant yourself, beautiful. All right, so it's no different from, controlling an unruly classroom. So, all right, so get ready for that to happen. Now, this is, again, to let people know what is going on. This is Speaker 101. I'm going to pass this. I just finished that event yesterday. Okay, so this is Speaker 101, where we're going to be talking about how to present here in AltSpace. And one of the first things you do is to be welcoming and greet people. The second thing you do is mute everyone. Now, what this does makes it quiet. Oh, the heavy breathing is now gone for those that are the people on their microphones, and all the other sounds are gone. We don't have to listen to lawnmowers and doors slamming. And my favorite one is the door flying open and somebody saying, "Why do you have that thing on your face again? Take it off, go do your chores." I love not hearing that. We used to hear that all the time doing presentations. Now we have the ability to mute everyone in the audience. And this is really important, not because we want to be mean, not because we want to be obnoxious, like Watermelon is right now. It's because, Watermelon, last chance. I had patience yesterday. As examples, less patience today. All right, thank you. So when we mute people, it is not because we don't like them or we're being mean. It's not personal. It's professional. Because now all the attention's on me. Yay! No. It's so that everybody can hear the speaker and not have to try to hear over heavy breathing and big noises and other things like that. Just pure kindness, and we really love it. But there's a psychological thing that happens. So when you crack a joke, I was so thrilled the first time we had this. I was like, yes, we've been asking for like 3 years. No, we haven't. This is great. And then I cracked a joke, and there was dead silence. And I thought, oh my God, I'm not funny. Until I realized that what's funny, the problem was nobody was laughing. And so I then realized, and this is an important lesson, when you crack a joke, laugh. Normally you wait for the audience to laugh, get rid of that. If you have mute all on, you laugh, because then it makes the audience feel like they're not alone in their silence, and they laugh too. So you say something funny, then give a little giggle. And it makes people feel comfortable. And use the emojis. Use those emojis. Oh, I just love it when somebody, so, all right. You were born. Okay. So, we see all. We know all. All right. So, use those emojis. I want everybody to hammer on an emoji. Hammer on the emojis. Everybody hammer on one of the emojis. There you go. Now listen. Hear that popping sound? Sounds like popcorn. That is the sound of great applause, of great laughter, of all the emotions that the audience has. So use those little popping sounds when you're up here speaking to make sure that you feel that response, you feel that laughter. Now, watermelon, I know that you have attention issues, and I gave you a chance. Are you done? Do you really find a thrill out of having being kicked out of the event space? Okay, so he's giving me the virtual finger. Don't have time for the nonsense because I've got a lot of things to share with you, and it's more important that I spend my energy on you. So that was an example of when you are the speaker, you get to control the crowd in your own unique way here in AltspaceVR. And we're going to talk more about moderation because I'm sure somebody else will do something that will need that attention. But make sure that you control your experience. So if somebody is being annoying, it's your event. Remove them. Focus on the people who want to be there, who want to learn what you have to learn, because that's what the magic is all about, right? Isn't that what it's all about? So you're here for a reason. That's why. Don't let the trolls win, all right? But again, in this event, I'm using them as a teaching point. All right. So invite the emojis. Say yes, like I just did. Give me some applause for kicking out a troll. Yes, a purposeful troll. Yes, see? Invite emojis. Make those sound effects happen. Make the audience feel like they're a part of something. Explain the mute all, but most importantly, remember that you are pioneers here. And therefore, third-party technology like slides is problematic. So please ask your audience if they can see the slides. If the screen behind me is black or gray or white, please re-enter the space and you may be able to see them. That's a chronic problem, especially for mobile users. When you're going from place to place, slides are an issue. So make sure in your presentation you say, if you can't see the slides, please re-enter and you should be able to see them, because nothing's worse than getting to the end of your event and having all these slides that you put so much work into them. And then they say, I couldn't see your slides. Is there something wrong? And it's like, okay? So make sure you ask people if they can see them and repeat it several times. All right. So now let's get on to some of the good stuff behind the scenes. That's what you do in the front scene. You welcome people. You make them feel like they're appreciated, and you make sure that they are greeted and feeling good about what's going on. And then you make sure before you even step on that stage that you turn on the emojis. You hit the host tools, which you will have over in the lower right corner. You hit amplify my voice so that everyone in the audience can hear you. You get to use those audience participation features, and if you're lucky enough to have an event on air, then you click the on air button. There's a lot to remember, and we're going to come back to this, but there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. So be aware that if you are in front of the stage and you're not sitting in a seat, one of my moderators will deal with you very quickly, so go find a seat. If you're hanging around in the back area and you're not upstairs in the balcony, be aware that the moderators will also deal with you there. That's the joy of their superpowers. All right, so when you come, again, I'm not going to spend much time on creating an event. We have the AltspaceVR 101. If you haven't been to it, go to it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's a gift to the community by the community helpers to do this by volunteers. If you, and we also have the info zone, which gives step-by-step instructions on how to create an event. It's pretty easy, but I want to just point out a few little light things. There's this link down here. Where is it? There it is. It says Show additional options. Make sure on the website, do this on the website. It's really hard to do it in World. A lot of typing involved. So do it on the website at altpr.com. Hit that link and it expands up things that you have to fill in. We've asked them to fix the interface, but that's what it is right now. So make sure you hit that link. Here's the best way to start an event, a brand new event. First, create it. Don't feature it, just create it. And don't have slides, don't have videos, don't do anything unless it's a video watching party. Just have an event with a good topic and talk to people. See who shows up. Do this several times. Once you figure out the bugs, because there's a whole lot of fuss that goes into really presenting well, once you figure it out and you're comfortable with doing it, then make it all good. Ask to have it featured. But make sure you get the bugs out of it first, because when you're ready, that's when you do it. Make your mistakes first, and trust me, I'm going to make a whole lot during this event. I'm going to make a whole lot in every event. But that's how we learn. I tell my students, you ain't making mistakes, you ain't learning. And that's really, really important, all right? So when you're ready, you can hit feature the event, and then you can go from there. If you find out that you have a bunch of people who are really, really enjoying the process and moving forward with you, they're right in sync with you, you found like minds, you found that energy, then create a website, create a forum, have a Discord group, do some other kind of a group, and get it going. And make sure that you keep the conversation going outside of AltSpace. That's where the joy is. That's where the joy is. You start building that community and you bring those like minds together. So I love it. Now make sure that you have a good title and description. Sandy's chat. I don't know what Sandy's going to talk about, so I'm really not interested in whatever Sandy's going to talk about. Doesn't help me. But Sandy's automotive repair meetup tells me, boy, if I have a car problem, I want to go to that meetup and learn how to do it. Or maybe it's auto restoration. Or maybe it is stamp collecting. Oh, I'd love to see a stamp collecting meetup in here. Wouldn't that be awesome? Or coin collecting? Ooh, my dream is, and I still have the dream, I want a knitting meetup. Because I knit for shit, and I want somebody to start a knitting meetup so I can learn how to knit better. So, I would love that. So call it the knitting meetup, VR knitting meetup, knitters in VR meetup, whatever you want to do. I will know what it is, and then I will go. But sorry, Fred's podcast, not interested in Fred, not interested in that podcast, because I don't know what Fred's going to talk about. To start out, be really specific. And be specific also with the description, so that we know what you're talking about. We want that detail. Make us want to go to your event. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Make us a few words. Words matter. Oh, lovely. Rolf, please click on it and hit destroy if you'd like to stay, my friend. Otherwise, I will kick you out of the event and remove you. Thank you. All right. Be aware that was one of the examples of the worst thing you can have done in an event. Seriously worse. Throwing a portal in an event is like working for 2 or 3 months to create an event, a party. You invite everybody over, you're rocking it out, you have the band, you have the group, you have the food, everything's great. Somebody comes over and goes, hey, this isn't any fun, come over to my house. And then leaves with half of your audience. Half of your, not just your audience, but half of your party of friends. That sucks. So, no portals in events, period, ever, complete, not just me, everybody, all right? Make that commitment now, no portals. It also, not only does it disrupt the event, but it also disrupts the speaker, who then has to, because everybody pays attention, and then now it's like, I don't even know where I was, don't know what's going on. Be aware. So learn to recognize that sound, and then just breathe through it, let your moderators deal with it, or you nuke them right away, because it's an immediate kick. I was nice, because Rolf, I know you know better. All right, so those are things that are happening. All right, back to title and description, clear, specific, you got the point. Make sure you have clear graphics, that you really, really have clear graphics so people can see it. I had a lot of people say, well, why is your creative writing meetup have a black and white graphic? And I said, because everybody else has color. And now mine stands out. So be creative with it. Have fun with it, all right? But make it clear. And serve your peeps. Make sure that you are working for them, not yourself. A lot of people present events where it's all about them. And I'm sorry, as lovely as that is, I don't want to talk to people like me. I want to talk to people who challenge me. I want to talk to the intellectual people that are here. I want to talk to people who know more than I do. Because that's where the magic happens, is when your ideas are challenged, your thoughts are challenged, when you get to think outside of the box. And sometimes the people in your audience, then not only do they know more than you do, they're great opportunities for having them come and speak to your group. So you never know where an opportunity is going to happen. So make sure you serve the people first. Now, what can you not teach in AltspaceVR, or specifically in VR? Think about it. What can you not teach? What can you not present? What kind of a topic? Think about it. What can you not do? Anything that requires pen and paper. Yeah, you can't take notes. You can't write. Unless you're me, and then like an idiot, your first event is a creative writing meetup. So, and I bring this up because we had a lot of technical issues. Remember, you're all pioneers here. You're all among the great, brilliant people here who managed to figure out this process, but we still haven't figured out how to write in VR. So I tell people when they come into my event, every single time, that we write in the real world and we share in VR, which makes it really, really painful. And the reason it's even, I thought this is great. They can just, push up their headsets and they can write in the real world or type, or if they're tethered, they can type on their computer, whatever it is. And when we work to prompts, they can just push their headset up so they can hear through the ears. But, when I say the timer is up, but they get to write in the real world because we can't write in VR. Little bit of a problem with that. And the Oculus Go, and even the Quest, has a sensor in the forehead of the device. When it sees light, it turns itself off and goes into sleep mode. So I would see people with their headsets kind of like this, writing, and then all of a sudden they go poof, 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 and they disappear out of the event. Boy, that's really good for your ego. And so it took a while to figure out that sensor was causing the problem. And so people came up with great hacks. We had people putting coins on it, their fingers on it, trying to write while holding a finger on a sensor. It ended up being black electrician's tape was the best solution. Oh, we are such pioneers here. We are such pioneers. Black electrician's tape. I love it. Well, now there are controls for auto wake and auto sleep that will allow you to take your headset off. You can set it in the Oculus settings to take it off and it won't go off immediately. And so my writing group was saved. But I still have to explain that every time we meet. I have to go through the ritual. We write in the real world. We share in VR. Do you know that if you take your headset off, so that eats up time in my presentation in that meetup every time to explain this to people. So you need to take that into consideration as you prep. Things that involve writing suck. But VR is great for social experiences, for meetups, for presentations, for remote learning, for watching, people love watching. It's amazing. But we'll talk about what they like watching in a minute. So, hey, Bruce, you're elevating up if you want to use that left controller, or if that's not Bruce and you came back from yesterday, controller if you're on the Quest, put your feet on the ground. That'd be awesome. All right, when it comes to, there you go, to event spaces, many people will not do an event until they create a custom space. Honestly, waste of time. What if you create a custom space, you put all the effort into it, and then you present, and nobody shows up? Or people show up and they just don't get it. It's all about the space, and it's not about the content. I've seen this happen over and over and over again. Please, please, from the heart, use one of the templates that AltSpace provides for at least the first few times, because it is critical that you get the content figured out. You get an audience built up, and then you can play with the space. Because how many people came here for this event because I would be presenting it in a cool space? Come on. Anybody? Anybody? Yeah. How many came here to learn about what I have to say, and you don't care if you're out in the middle of a field with some cows learning it, or you're here in a kind of a room? Yeah, you're here for the content. People are here for the content. So I'm not saying I have my own custom spaces. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying hold off until you know what you're doing, because they take a lot of work and it just doesn't work, so use those. All right, number one lesson. Number one, if I can have you walk away with anything and absolutely know that this is the most important thing that you have learned today, is please share your passion and your enthusiasm, because people love it. They want to be excited about what you're talking about. They want you to be excited. They're excited about it because they took all the effort to put on the headset, to come in here, to click the links, to jump through things, to go through the info zone, to throw basketballs, to learn all these things and come in here. This takes effort. Be passionate about what you're talking about. Share that enthusiasm. Don't be boring, okay? I tell my students when it comes to writing, if you have the passion to be heard, we'll forgive misspellings and grammar. If I stutter or stumble over my words or fugger them up, you're going to forgive me, right? Because what I have to share is more important than the fact that maybe I'm having some problems conveying my message. If you have the sincerity, if you have the passion, we don't care about the fact that you may have a squeaky voice, or you may have a beast voice, or that, you're stumbling over your words. We care. We care, and we care a lot here in AltSpace. AltSpace is one of the most intellectual, caring communities. As being a moderated community, it is a beautiful thing. We've got some great love here. So feel the love, and remember, people care about you when you're up on the stage. Talk to your audience. Do I even need to do this one? No reading. Unfortunately, I am with Educators in VR, and we have a few people who want to present and read a script. Come on. Reading a presentation ended in high school. Let's be passionate. Don't read. Know your stuff. Practice, because it's important that you know your stuff before you get up here and put that headset on. Remember that voice dictates emotions. We have massive research that's coming out on embodiment and presence that is saying your avatar really doesn't matter. As much as you want an avatar that looks like you, everyone look around the room. Turn around, look around the room at each other. You're all cartoon characters, and yet you love this stuff, and you fall in love with the people that are in here. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters what you sound like. And I'm not talking high voice, low voice, whatnot. I'm talking about the emotional quality. So passion rings out. I love doing this presentation. I love presenting. I love being here with you and helping you learn. I think it's so important, and I hope that comes through my voice. But if I have a lot of trolls and there's a lot of nonsense going on and I start to, you know that I'm not having a fun experience here. So that's why voice really, we're finding over and over and over again in the research that when it comes to VR, voice overrules body language. Now, once our avatars become more sophisticated, maybe that may change. But right now, voice dictates. So really work on that voice. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, chest open, breathing open, so that you can sound like you know what you're talking about. And you're not going, I'm going to kill that avatar that is pinging off the walls, whatever it is. Okay? Shorter, sweeter, as she goes on into this hour presentation. Please know that shorter is sweeter. Try to make 1 to 3 points, not 100 to 300. Seriously, I've seen people. I had a speaker who came up and said to me, okay, I'm not sure I have enough slides for my 25-minute presentation. And I said, how many do you have? He said, I have 129. So wait a minute, 129 for a 20-minute presentation? Let's do the math. How about 20 slides? Anyway, I can't present for less than at least 80. And I went, okay, well, then we have to really talk about what you're doing here. So, shorter, sweeter does work. And we follow what's called the broadcast clock. Anyone familiar with that? Give me some applause. Anybody? Oh, that is awesome. So this is used by radio, television, and podcasts to control when the commercial slots are, when all the different time slots are. You know, an hour television show is really about 43 minutes because of the ads. And you have to break the drama at certain moments. And so they use what's called a broadcast clock. It's been around for dozens of years. And in our events here in AltSpace if you're doing an hour event, it runs also on what we call the broadcast clock system. You have about 3 to 5, maybe 7 minutes to welcome people, as I did in the beginning. That cuts into your hour. Say, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Then you have about 20 to 30 minutes to present, maybe 35. Then you want to make sure VR works best when it's interactive, so you want to open the floor up to questions and have that social experience. And so that takes the rest of the time. And usually you end around 10 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before it. So then there's this little light blue spot I have right in here. So that's what I call wiggle room. Because you're going to have the power go out. You're going to have an internet glitch, and I'll disappear for a second or whatever it is. You're going to have the batteries go out on your controller. You're going to have something that's going to mess things up and eat away at your time. So make sure that you add that padding so that you can stay on track. So what we found from the research that, like a first impression, engagement in VR needs to happen in the first 12 minutes. If you cannot engage people and get those virtual butts in the virtual chairs, you have lost them. If you have about 12 minutes, because these headsets are heavy, they're troublesome, they're bothersome and sweaty, and so that becomes a problem. So we found about 12 minutes is the most you have to hold people's attention. Overheating tends to happen around the 30-minute mark. Not because people didn't fully charge before they came in, it's because they were playing Beat Saber before they came in. And, there you lost that